All right, guys. So today I got something a little different to throw back to when I picked up this PT Cruiser, which is a fairly new PT Cruiser. This is right after my accident, before my leg surgery. So everything, so I needed a commuter car to get me to doctor's appointments and whatnot. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here is some issues I found with this car. So the car was throwing a check engine light. That's kind of what I'm going to mention right here. And I'm going to mute myself because at this time I was going through the recovery phase. My voice is gross, like nasty. Um, and I have an extreme sailor's mouth. Like I have a sailor's mouth already, but like when I think I have a sailor's mouth, you know I'm going crazy with some of those words. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that's a check engine light. Um, Coming to find out, the check engine light only comes on when you have the heater on. And then here I'm talking about this Blue Driver, which I got from Amazon, which is an OBDII reader. Um, I think it was like 80 bucks, really cheap. Um, all you do is plug it in, as it's a Bluetooth. You download the app, um, and it sends out a Bluetooth signal. You connect your phone to the Bluetooth through the app, and that you'll see me run through that process right here, right now. And again, I muted myself. I'm kind of talking in the camera, but again, my voice is gross. So you plug it into your OBD2 reader, the reader into your OBD2 plug. Um, and then once it lights up blue, it's sending out a signal. So I'm gonna find my phone. And here I left my phone, so I had to go grab my phone, and I cut back into it. Here's the Blue Driver app. You just wait for it to connect. You connect via Bluetooth, and here I'm trying to get to the actual connection. You see, it's trying to connect to the actual device here. Um, for older model vehicles, you might have to enter your VIN number. There's a certain year. If you go to the Blue Driver site, I don't have it pulled up, but it'll tell you the years it reads. But now I'm gonna go to my read the codes, check engine light. It's gonna do a little scan. It's gonna connect to it, and you gotta have your key on run position once you connect. You can see here it's gonna ask for the mileage. I previously entered this in without the camera, so I already ordered the parts and stuff. So now I'm gonna look at the two codes that this car is throwing. It's throwing cylinder 2, which is I think it's pre 2002 and P 2003. Um, but cylinder 2 misfire is what it's throwing, and it gives you recommendations here. Here's what you should do: replace spark plugs, replace the ignition coil. So it gives you options, and also has a instructional video. And also, if you find a different resolution to this code, you can enter your own code resolutions at the bottom. So it's a pretty neat little app. I think it's useful. I mean, if you're not, I mean, it's really no point in buying a $3,000 or $2,000 OBD2 reader, which I mean you could do a lot more with them than this, but it is what it is. So here I'm gonna pop the hood. Then I'm gonna go
And
actually
disconnect this motherfucker.
look in the
Jesus
car. And here
Christ.
is, you're gonna see that I'm gonna have little, I have my little fucking, what is it, a pick holding it up because I was too blind to see the hood latch. Um, and at the time I thought the hood latch was missing, but I just, my vision was terrible. Again, you gotta remember I just got a head injury here. It's like I don't know, probably 10, 15 days out of head injury. And I'm talking about removing the manifold here, the mass airflow sensor, and the vacuum line in the back. To get to the ignition coil. But as I'm doing my investigation here, I end up finding a loose, I'm assuming ground cable. I don't know what this ground cable went to, but it wasn't connected. So what I'm gonna do is, because I'm just troubleshooting right now, troubleshooting a new car that I got, or used car I got. Um, it's all right. So we got this loose ground cable. I'm hoping all it was a loose ground cable. So I go and connect that ground cable up. And I'm also talking about um, all the missing clips on some of these sensors here. So somebody's been tinkering with stuff in here. So it's somebody's been working on this car already previously. And you can tell once you get at the hood here. So I'm talking about putting and then here I'm talking about the bumper. So the things, when I got the car, all of this wasn't noticeable. Because I even took a few people with me, because I can't drive myself at this point in time, because I still like crazy head injury. And at the time, my brain didn't like driving at all. Like I would get headaches from even sitting in a car, moving traffic. Um, but yeah, so one of the things I found out with this bumper is a bunch of zip ties holding this bumper back together, and the bumper ended up falling off because I was letting my niece use it while I was out, and the bumper fell off on her while she was driving down the highway. So I think send out some red flags for me after I purchased this car. Okay, these guys did a really good job of hiding all the flaws in this car when they sold it to me, but it's still a decent car because it's 60,000 miles, one owner. Um, I think it was, I think it was good, regardless, all the flaws and stuff. It's good. I mean, I wish they would have been upfront about it. Um, but that's life, people like to, you know, be mischievous and trying, they don't want to maximize their money, so they hide things from you. And it is what it is. It's turbo. This is the Touring model. So, oh man, let me tell you what, the little car has some giddy up. Ooh. Man, once after I got the surgery and recovery and stuff, and I started driving this thing on my own, I was like, man, this car is dangerous. I don't know why they would put this engine in the PT Cruiser, but it's quick. Compared to my other cars, it's quick. Compared to my truck, I bet you this car will smoke my truck in a little 60 foot. And I know it'll smoke it when it comes to highway driving because my truck has a governor on it. I haven't pulled the governor off, but all right. So this is a few days later, um, after the code read through again, after attaching that ground cable. So I'm gonna talk about here is I pulled off the manifold. I already started working on it because I don't. You guys don't need to see me wrench. There's plenty of mechanic videos out there. You don't even see the pull off bolts. But I pulled off the manifold, the mass airflow sensor, and there's a vacuum line on the back. I think it's still connected right now. No, it's disconnected. Um, but here I'm talking about what I pulled off just to get to that coil pack down on the bottom. You can see um, the coil pack. It's gonna be I think they call it ignition coil in the new cars. But you can see here on the ignition coil, what I found was once I pulled off the spark plug wires, the previous mechanics, put electrical tape on the plugs, and it was on the cylinder 2 and 4 where the um, electrical tape was on. So that I mean that's right there's that's my problem. And I already have the new parts. Two things. I don't know the condition of these old parts. I don't know how long they've been installed. Um, so I'm gonna continue with the swap out of new parts because I don't trust these parts. Even though I could have easily just pulled off the electrical tape and just probably just reattached it as a cheap, simple fix, not to cost me any money. I'm gonna swap everything. I'm gonna change the spark plugs. I'm gonna do pretty much a whole tune-up on this car because I don't know the condition of this car and I don't know the mechanics on this previous car previously, and I don't trust them already. Just because what I'm seeing right now, the work, I don't trust the work at all. None. Zero. Zilch. And you'll see how as we go through. But anyways, I folded the manifold back up. This is a pretty simple manifold on this car. It's like 6 bolts you pull off, and then I loosened up the where the air intake connects. Just pull it up and just twist it up, get it out of my way. And, I don't have the resources that a lot of people have, so I'm not pulling everything off. I'm just a little backyard mechanic, and even that, I'm not even a mechanic. I'm an IT person. So I pull out the coil, the ignition coil. As I'm doing a little speech about how back in mechanics and all those issues, and going on a rant about that. Throw some sailor words out there, Sailor Moon words. Um, and that's pretty much it here. And I'm talking, you can see I have the intake covered where it goes into the engine itself, just so nothing drops into there. No loose parts, no screws or dirt or leaves, because I think it was like springtime at this point in time. I don't know if you can see down in there. I'm trying to get the flashlight and the camera in there, camera angle. But you got some oil pulling up. So I think what we're going to end up doing here is that we're going to pull out the whole fucking, we're going to see if we can find a valve cover gasket, and then the gaskets for the spark plugs too, whatever the fuck they're called. We're going to get the whole little kit. We're going to pull out this valve cover and replace all the gaskets. Because you'll be seeing there, like I said, I don't know if you can see it with the camera. Can't really tell. Got a cheap old GoPro Hero 4. But we got some oil pulling up. So we'll try and correct that right now before it gets too bad. Alright, so right now we've got our valve cover gasket, got it from AutoZone. You can see it covers a 2.4 turbos. That's what we really need. Those motherfuckers leaking. This bitch I think is still good, but we're gonna replace it too since we have it here. You know what I'm saying? Might as well do everything. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but we got some silicone there, definitely some silicone right there. Looks like they got silicone there,
and I can't really tell in the corner. So it's gonna make a little bitch to redo it for us. We're gonna have to clean all this shit off so we can get a perfect seal on it. For some reason, 2, 3, and 4 weren't seated correctly. I cleaned it off a little bit, so I don't know if you saw the earlier image. There's some fucking some burnt oil on the inside of the fucking where the gasket should be at. So the oil was getting in there and burning up. But fucking now we gotta fucking clean all this shit off and hopefully get a good seal on it when we put everything back together. So what I'm gonna do is clean all this shit off. Make sure there's no silicone hiding anywhere, so we get a good contact, and fucking put it back together.
Okay, so now we're just working the gasket around. Make sure it's fit nice and snug. You don't want to stretch it out. It's nice and clean in there. A good seal. It's gonna be fun to put it in though. Just try not to beat it up and damage it when you put it in. Don't end up in the same situation these other cats got us into. This one's kind of a funky business here. So read the little disclaimer when it comes on the gasket. These aren't exact fits, they're just generalized fucking gasket cover for like multiple models and shit, so just try not to fucking stretch it out.
So now I got the valve cover done. We put our fucking coil pack on. I'm just gonna put our fucking coils on. Back to our fucking spark plug and reconnect 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then start assembling everything. Alright. So far, check engine light's off. I can turn on the heater. Check engine light doesn't come on. Turn on the AC, no check engine light. Idle seems smoother, I'll tell you that.